Hi guys, this is Mac here, and I welcome you all to my YouTube channel, which is called Mac Vlogs. So for today afternoon, it's a great sunny afternoon. I would like to welcome my guest for today's live session. It's none other than Miss Saana Azzam, a wonderful human being and a great personality of Mina Speakers. She's a CEO and a communication expert of Mina Speakers. Welcome, 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 Miss Sana. How are you?
Oh, I'm good. Thank you for having me. I'm very excited.
Same
How are
here.
you?
More than you, I am great. I am more excited than you after having you in my session. And since we go a long way back from 2016, where our friendship started in Dubai, and you invited me for an event, and I learned a lot of things from your event, mashallah. So there you go. The whole channel is yours now. Go for it.
Oh, wow. Okay, good. How much time do we have? Amazing. So I guess we're here to talk about how to communicate and speak to influence, and how you can become a better communicator. And this is whether you are in a corporate position, you're a professional speaker, or you're simply just trying to speak up and speak more eloquently. And so we're going to be talking about the best practices that we get from the professional speakers in the professional world, those that get paid to speak. And I head up a business called Mina Speakers. As you can see, let's see that it's there. Yes.
Yeah.
So it's the leading speaker. Sorry?
Yeah. I said I'm a
Okay.
big fan of Mina Speakers, so yes, love it. Go ahead.
That's cool. That's cool. It's the leading speakers agency in the Middle East, and we have all these experts, influencers, thought leaders, doctors that go up on stage and share their knowledge to the world. And so what I also do is I help people become these type of high-powered speakers who then eventually can get a chance to travel and speak and get paid for it and do this as a way to spread their message to the world, but also as a way to get paid and do it professionally. Now, worth noting today is that it's a special circumstance. I have a little cast with us.
Oh my God, how did that happen?
So I'm hiding it over here. For the first time ever in an interview, I'm sitting with a cast. Yeah, I mean, I went skateboarding.
Hope you get well soon. Hope you get well soon.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay.
It's a great sport and it's cool to learn new things, but this one came out of this.
So it means you're an adventurous woman who would try out different activities and different stuff, different sports, huh?
You bet. I mean, it's when we're outside our comfort zone that is the only way for you to grow.
Amazing. Okay, so I have a few questions to put across to you as an expert in public speaking, right, and in communications, for my followers and your followers to know that how people can shed their shyness off and become a professional public speaker. So what would you like to add over there? Like how we all can become professional public speakers?
Okay, good. So let's divide and conquer. First, let's talk about this shyness notion. Stay with me on this one. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. And so when you're fully prepared, you know the structures of setting up a speech. You are going to feel confident. You're going to know the roadmap on which you're taking your audience on. It's going to be just a completely different experience. So the key in all of this is educating yourself to know what is it that makes a good speech and what doesn't make a good speech, what makes me a good speaker, and then like practicing and trying it out, right? So this will definitely help you with regards to the shyness. And then just to constantly be putting yourself out there. So even by, putting up a phone and doing like a Instagram live or like a Facebook live, like right now, you're really speaking publicly. Like it's a way for you to practice your communication skills. Do people understand what I'm saying? Am I making sense? Is this working? So that's definitely a way and a start for you to address shyness. Another thing that I believe is crucial is, well, it's an easy fix. So communication is a skill. It's something that you can learn. Get a coach, attend a masterclass, go on YouTube, read books. This is so instrumental for your career. If I had one advice, well, if I'm looking at my younger self or talking to college students, I'm not going to say one advice, but one of the top 5 advices that I have for somebody who's at the beginning of their career or even later on is work on your communication. If you want to be successful, if you want to be a leader, if you want to influence, if you want to be able to persuade, you have to be able to communicate powerfully. And so the good news is that you can train yourself. You can become great at it. And so why should you sit at home and feel shy or nervous? No, go out there and get trained and get your help.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. But usually, what happens is after your high school and you enter the college and then you enter the professional life, there's certain word which comes to my mind is having butterflies in your stomach when you want to present yourself, whether you're going for your interview, right? After in your professional career, at times that butterflies in your stomach don't allow you to be well, means it gives you a little bit nervousness or a little bit
Okay.
excitement. Everything is there, but you are confident that you can succeed in whatever you want to do. But why does that butterflies come in your stomach to make you nervous? Why does that?
Amazing. Okay, great. So let's just paint a visual, right? Imagine when you're at home on a Thursday, Friday night, you're relaxing or after work and you're watching Netflix, you're chilling, you're, eating your popcorn, whatever. How's that feeling? You're like relaxed. You're leaning back, you're super relaxed. You're not really thinking about performance. But imagine yourself in your peak performance when you're doing your very best. If you're writing a big exam, if you're working on a big project, your thesis, or doing something that's very important for you, the butterflies are always going to show up. And the butterflies is a good thing. I want you to embrace the butterflies. I want you to address it as if it's a good thing. Because you don't want to feel like your Netflix self, like when you're on the couch. You want to feel like your best and peak performance self. And that tends to come with the butterflies. It's a signal for the body that I'm on high alert. The chemicals and hormones in my body are putting me in high alert. And I'm in a state of peak performance because this is important to me and all my senses are heightened. And I want to do my level best in this context. Okay. So one of the things is to actually accept that this is, as long as you think something's important for you, then you have to have that amount of adrenaline. You need to have that sense of, this is exciting. The other one is to rephrase it. I don't want to get too technical about what that actually means, but understand and embrace that this is a positive thing and that it comes with the territory. Just embrace it. The sooner you embrace it, the easier it's going to be for you moving forward when you're in peak performance moments.
Wow. Okay. So now I'm going to work on myself for that. Basically, at times when I was young, I remember growing up and I had to go on the stage to give a speech on certain topic or give a debate with the other students of mine and or do some sort of an act. That butterfly was always coming to hunt me down by pulling my confidence down. It's basically because I thought that maybe I'm not prepared well, but as the phase of my life I grew up, I tend to fight it out now, and I'm a bit more confident, basically because of my challenges which I had accepted in my life. So today I am here talking to you as a confident person. So I feel so. And before I started even my YouTube, I was shy. But after I joined the YouTube channel and I started making vlogs, my shyness went away. And wherever I go to any events and stuff, I feel like I want to go up there on the stage and talk, basically because I feel like confident now than I was before.
Cool.
That's
Cool. I love it. And this is you doing this as a self-thought. So you yourself, like you went, you learned how to do it yourself, which is a great example. So the confidence thing can be addressed quite quickly. And this is always my thesis. So get a coach, get help, get support, teach yourself. Then quickly you're going to have confidence. Great. Next, you want skill. You also want a lot of skill. You want a roadmap. You want a plan. You won't need to practice. Learn from others. And which you also said, this is a prime example of high performance behavior. You're looking at what everyone else is doing and going, okay, I want to be up there, but what is that person doing? Is that one presenting well? Is it not so well? Why not? What can I learn from it? And that's awesome. That's awesome. Super, Mac.
Thank you so much for the appreciation. Really means a lot to me, coming from a lady who is such a amazing speaker. You know, that boosts my confidence automatically, because I always follow you from quite some time, and I follow your presentations and your style, the way you present yourself on the stage. So that gives me confidence that I can be confident as well in front of my crowd. Okay.
Amazing.
I have a question now. Now, for all the people out there who's following you today on this session, would like to know definitely that after they graduate, once they graduate, right, from the university, or they are entering the university, and they want to, what subjects or what topics they should come up with to become a professional speaker? Is there any degree for this, or is this just a passion which you took it up after you graduated? Or how does these things come into your mind?
Oh, okay. This is an amazing question. It's a really big question, and it's also a common one in which I receive a lot.
Okay.
So there isn't a one easy way to address it, but I want to talk about ikigai, the Japanese concept, the reason of being, which is doing what you love, what you can be good at, what you can be paid for, and what the market wants. Something along those combinations. And so I think it's the question is, what can you be obsessed about? Like, what can you drill into for the rest of your life and still be so happy and joyful about learning? And not only learning, but then teaching others and paying it forward. So if you are thinking about your topic, that topic should be one in which you can achieve absolute mastery, better than everyone else, and really get into the nuts and bolts and the very minute details of that topic. And I don't care what it is. It could be anything from like supply chain management to how to build a computer, to then we have bigger topics like sales, healthcare, education, medicine, public speaking. So whatever it is, just try to find something that you think is so thrilling that you want to read all the books. You want to learn about all the other speakers in the sector, and you can become the absolute authority in this topic.
Okay. Now, I have few questions, which I'm sure you would like to address them. Basically, it's related to the public speaking itself, okay? But they're not, you can give a small answers for each question as we go by, and whatever it's okay with you, okay?
Okay.
The first question I have is, what do you want your audience to remember your presentation when you are on the stage? What do you want your audience to connect with you, and how do they want to remember you?
Okay, are we talking on a personal level or generically if somebody's thinking about this?
Okay, it's like any topic which you're presenting yourself on the stage and all the audience is watching you. What do you want them to remember, and how impactful it should be?
Okay, so you will have different speakers with different strategies. Some are very adamant on them being remembered for a specific message, or anchoring themselves and their story to them. My fundamental belief is every time I go up on stage, I am just a messenger of something that will help you. I don't even I don't care if you remember me or remember my story, it's irrelevant. It's about how I'm helping you. If I can give you specific tools, specific techniques that will inspire you to take action in your own life. Yeah, so there is a hierarchy of speakers. There are educational speakers. You remember our math teacher, an educational speaker. Yeah, he or she, they do their job. They're good. They're so useful. They're fantastic, but they're there to educate. They don't have a bigger purpose necessarily. And then we have these like motivational speakers that will get you energized. You'll feel great after you have listened to them. because they're energetic. Yay. Okay, great. But there is no tangible action. So let's move on. The next level would be like an inspirational speaker. A speaker that has made you feel good about yourself, but then you also have something to do, like you have a roadmap, you have some techniques to implement. Maybe now you're going to start journaling, or maybe now you're going to start, doing these new habits. But I would say the peak level of speakers are speakers that we describe as transformational speakers. These are speakers that truly will make you alter your path and the roadmap in which you're walking on. And so, of course, depending on the context, in certain contexts, it's better just to be educational. In some, you aim for transformation, but it's incredibly hard. It's incredibly hard. So that's the roadmap of the ambition to deconstruct the speakers industry for you.
Okay, I think I got my answer for that. I'm sure the other followers and the viewers might have got the answer correct. Okay, so before I proceed further, who was your main inspiration in your life to start MENA Speakers or this public speaking concept in Dubai, or maybe in UK where you came up with this concept? So who was your main inspiration that inspired you?
Social injustice has been my primary inspiration in all of this. So it hasn't been a one individual, it's truly been social injustice. So when I was living in Sweden, and I had an agency that was representing me, and then I would be sent off on speaking engagements. Fantastic. But quite often I would be the only female, the youngest person, and definitely the only dark person, like non-white. And I didn't feel like that was right, and I didn't feel like that's fair. And if you look around the world, how many Arab speakers or Middle Eastern based speakers do you find around the world, or even Pakistani, quite frankly? They're very few, very rare. And so the narrative of knowledge and who has been the messenger of knowledge has been dominated by white males. And nothing wrong with them, but it's just dominating the narrative. And so the inspiration of setting up MENA Speakers comes from a place of social injustice, because I want more color, more faces, more ages, more diversity on stage, because knowledge belongs to all of us. It doesn't only belong to one set of demographic. And so it was really important for me to set up an agency that allows for speakers from this part of the world to be able to travel and share their knowledge.
Fine. Can you see any question on our screen?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have a guest who has put across his question. The guest's name is Naveed Shah, and he has put a question across to you: is what motivated you to become what you are now? Would you like to answer his question?
Thank you, Naveed, for this question. It's a beautiful question. It's a big one. You're like hitting my core here. I'll give you the short answer. We can start all the way from when I was born. And again, social injustice is something that's very close to my heart, because I feel like we should all be treated with dignity and respect as humans. But if we take it from a practical issue, so I was working in Dubai as a banker. And as a typical overachiever, I was doing great. And, paid well, I get to travel, and like, hey, banker in Dubai, it's pretty great. And I was learning and all of that. But throughout my career, there was something in the back of my mind which wasn't adding up. Like, what am I doing here? What is this really what I want to do? Yeah, but the money is great, and the career is great, and people know who I am, the chairman knows who I am, yay. But something is not right. And so it took me a few years where I was just walking with this feeling, this isn't right, something's not right. And then eventually I took a course in NLP, actually. It was a 10-day course, and we did a few exercises, and one of them was about finding your values. So I write down all my values. These are my 10 values. The next question was, in your environment, which was my work, how close are you to living these values? And I started putting percentages. And the percentages were so low that I kind of went, hold up, okay. I am not living at all close to my values, even though everything looks great from the outside. It's just something that's not adding up. And this is why I'm finding it to be not super enjoyable. It was fun, but it wasn't perfect for me. And it was pretty much then and there that I, came back to the office and I said, I'm sorry, this is it. I can't be here anymore. And they're going, why? Can we give you a promotion? Can we give you more? Can we give you more? No, it's not about that. I just need to honor my values and who I am as a person and do something that's close to that. So by doing this one exercise, which I warmly recommend, like get a pen and paper, write down your values and ask yourself, where am I? By just doing that exercise, Mina Speakers was born. And set the tone of doing something that I love. And we're going on our 4th year, alhamdulillah, and with God's grace, it's going from strength to strength. And I love it. I love it. I enjoy working 7 days a week. I enjoy doing this every single day. And I do it from a place of absolute passion and admiration. And even the admin stuff and the stuff that we normally don't think is fun, I enjoy it because I love what I'm doing and I love my business, but it came from doing that type of audit. So thank you, Naveen, for asking that question. I appreciate it. It's a great question, and I hope that answers it.
I'm sure he might be. I'm sure he would have got his answer for the question which he had put across, and definitely thank you, Mr. Naveed, for asking that question. Ms. Sana is really obliged in saying thank you to you. This question, which I'm going to put across to you, it's for my own upbringing, to learn something from you. And this particular question is, how do you divide time between delivering the ideas and creating them? This is really important. It's time consuming, right? So how do you do that?
Are we talking from a productivity perspective, like at work, or do you mean from a stage perspective, like delivering your speech?
Preparing yourself, right? If you're coming up with an idea which you need to deliver, but you need to create them as well, right? So how do you combine, like how do you do the name and everything?
Okay, so if we take this from the perspective of giving a speech, there are a lot of persuasive structures and techniques in which you can use. So I will share the primary one, which, because I know a lot of, so when I look at, beginners, they try to write a speech for the first time, they will do a brain dump. This is what I know. And they will just write everything they know and then try to deliver all of that content. Okay, so that's fine to start with, because now you see everything that you've done the purge. It's all on paper, great. But there are 2 filters that we need to do. First filter, before anything else, is what does my audience want to know? Like, what are they looking for? What are they interested in? If you're talking to high schoolers versus talking to CEOs, well, there are very different interests between the two. You cannot use the same speech. So what do they want to know? Let's just get that pen on paper. So you write that and that becomes your filter. The other thing that you should look at is actually getting a structure. So what is my main message? What is the one thing I want everyone here to leave with? What is my main message? And then from that, what are my 3 supporting sub-messages to that? So it's a structure. So overarching message, and then structure it down to 3. 1, 2, 3 sub-messages. And this is how you start. Yeah. So an example, you can talk about the financial year. You say you're a CFO and you're presenting about finance. Okay. Past, present, future. Oh.
You can go ahead with your answer. You introduce me to guest appearance, Ms. Saida Nazia, who is always been following you up for Mina Speakers when she was in Dubai, and she really admires you as well. So welcome, Ms. Nazia.
Hey, hi, thank you for having me. Thank you. Hi, Sana, how are you?
Hi, Saida, I'm good. So good to see you. What a surprise.
Go ahead. What happened?
I think we're having a connectivity issue, which is fine. So let's see when she comes back.
You can continue with your answer. I think I have misinterrupted you at that time. So sorry.
No, no, not at all. I literally just hit the full stop and then Saida came in. All right, so you got the gist of it, which is stick to 3 messages in a speech. This is how you structure. Don't try to boil the ocean. It cannot happen. Just 3 messages supporting your key message, and that's it. Khalas, yeah?
Okay, let's see. Okay, that was wonderful. So I apologize for interruption a little bit at that
No,
time.
it's fine. Okay.
So what are the physical effects of speaking on the stage you feel and you experience at times?
Okay. So, I mean, if you're nervous, obviously you're going to feel the very straightforward fight or flight response reactions. Sweaty palms, shallow breathing, shaky knees, nauseated, the blackout. I mean, these are reactions that we normally see. But the other effects that you could also see is, you know, the excitement of, I think one of the coolest things of being on stage, and there's always that one moment if you've prepared your speech where you feel like you have presented your whole case, and then your audience has clicked.
Okay.
They understood it. They got the message, and it's almost like literally like a click, and you just feel it go through the audience. I think that's one of the coolest feelings that you can come across as a speaker. You know, your message is conveyed, you've hit a home run, and it just said click, and you're going, oh, got it. They got it. I got it. This is great. Yes.
Okay, this is the last question from my side. It's basically for my followers and viewers who would like to join MENA Speakers as a trainer or as a person to improve their motivational skills or their skills which they want to enhance for the public speaking, to join as a student in MENA Speakers, right? So what advice would you like to give them? At the moment, we know we are all being locked up because of COVID-19, but I'm sure you can still train them and talk to them through these webinars or live sessions and help them out. So what is the best way to any newcomer to join MENA Speakers?
I actually think this is one of the most interesting moments in history to be thinking about this career for 2 reasons. Okay. The first reason is because the industry has hit a reset button. All of the speeches are happening like this. This is the medium, which means even if you've been a keynote speaker, everyone's going back to the drawing board. Every speaker I know is going, how do I create a digital product? How do I create a digital speech? How do I create, this medium is different from speaking on stage, very different. And so it's a reset button. Everyone is a beginner and building up their skill level to a large degree. And so this is an interesting time for you to be joining this scene to become a professionally recognized paid speaker. So you upskill yourself. The other thing is that we suspect that there's not going to be that many events for another couple of months, live physical events, which means that you have a few months to get prepared. Okay. Yeah, and whilst the sector and the event sector is building up and planning, this is your chance to show up. And by showing up, I mean prepare your speech, get trained in public speaking, get your personal brand up to par with professional speakers. So do you have a website? Do you have a bio? Do you have cool headshots? Like, do you have these things that will do you justice when somebody wants to pay for a speaker and wants a professional speaker? If it's a yes, great. If it's a no, well then I am hosting a 3-day challenge happening on the 23rd of June. It's a free event. All you have to do is basically, we'll put the link in the chats later when this is public. You just have to sign up. You're joining the Facebook group, and then you'll be part of a challenge, which over a course of a few days, I'll be talking about how you can show up to the speakers industry so that you are prepared and you're dressed, you're representing yourself in a way that is professional so that you'd want to be booked and become a high value speaker.
I think Mr. Naveed is a big fan of yours, so he has put across another question. I want to go further on that. Are you offering any courses which are offered online due to current situation of COVID-19? And
Yes.
along with that, let me add the branding coach, Miss Saida Nazia, as well to this session so that she can connect with you as well.
Cool.
She's she's
Hey, sorry, I lost my connection.
Welcome
So
back.
I thank
so you
you.
can answer that
I
question on Mr. Naveed first, and then we'll proceed with Ms. Nazia.
sure.
Okay? So the question is on the screen. Yeah, go
Yes.
ahead, Sana.
Great. Yes. So we have been, alhamdulillah, with God's grace, lucky to see that all of our events have gone digital. So all our trainings, all our coaching, all our speeches, it's all done digitally at this point in time. So definitely something that we offer.
Okay, that's wonderful. Ms. Nazia, please, do you have any question on how you would like to connect with Ms. Sana on?
Well, from what I've heard since the stream began, it's been profound and it's really added to my own knowledge because obviously there is a strategic way of taking things forward, and you give the structure and what you're talking about. Obviously, it gives us a global perspective from which we've been disconnected because we are doing our own thing in Pakistan for a while, and due to this blessing in disguise that we're all connected through the live streams and internet, so now I'm getting to know, okay, this is what's currently going on. This is how you're taking things forward. So I think it's a great exchange of perspectives and learning. I learned a lot just by listening to you. So I think I'm sure if in a live event, when people are actually working on board with you and you're giving them a platform to come on as a speaker, it must be a profound experience in real life as well. So what is essential, Sana, to build up on yourself? Like you said, we have a couple of months to build up and invest in ourselves to upskill and work on our personal brand. That's what I do as well. But still, there is so much more room to learn and groom and grow because by listening to you, I just have had a little shift, and that is how the change begins. So it is so imperative to connect with people across the globe to get a varied perspective. How are you doing that? I'm sure you're doing a lot,
Great.
but
Great. So Said, I assume you're a speaker.
I train, I speak. Yes, I am an RJ on the radio. I've done TV shows. I do stuff. Whenever talking is involved, I write my own content. I speak my own content. So that's how I work. And by listening to people like you and working across the globe and traveling, I try to enhance and upgrade and upskill and learn. So I'm open to learning. But how many people out there are willing to upgrade and upskill and learn to invest in self education?
Mhm.
So I would never say I'm a so and so. I am a learner and I'm trying to grasp what I can from given limited time from you. So
Good.
how many people
Great.
actually do that? I'm just trying to understand. And what do
Amazing.
you do?
So let's take it back to there is an echo somewhere, right? Can you also hear that?
Okay. Okay. We'll
Yeah,
listen
I
to
think
your answer and I'll put mine.
It's fine.
yeah.
Okay, so let's see. What we normally see happens is that speakers tend to want to boil the ocean. They want to service everyone. And that's not a great strategy. And you know this is a branding personal. So it's better to serve one specific niche market than to try to service everyone. And so dig deeper into your topic. This is one. Saying I'm a coach doesn't fly. It's not good enough. Who are you servicing? Who are you speaking to? And what do they want to hear? And then what type of coach are you? So this is a type of level of depth that I would warmly recommend if anybody wants to be very serious about this industry is to go deep in your topic and be very specific.
I see.
Just
That's one.
break, and come down to that little atom. This is who I am. This
Yeah,
is what I do. Plus,
yeah, yeah,
not much going
Okay.
into this is also what I do. This is also what
Would
I do.
yeah,
would
exactly.
I have a question for Sana. Sana, would MENA speakers be interested in future to collaborate with the speakers of Pakistan, wonderful people we have out here, which I have explored myself, so we can have a collaboration of MENA speakers and the wonderful speakers of Pakistan coming to Dubai, or from Dubai we can get down the speakers to Pakistan to make a change in different people's lives. Do you think that would be achievable?
So we already have some really great Pakistanis on our book. And we are, of course, looking for more from different parts of the world. And we do have a marketplace called Nobu Market. And you're welcome to get on there. This is a way for you to start getting exposure. We've had some fantastic success stories through this platform. And so that's a great starting point for us. This is how we can welcome global collaboration.
Okay. Well, I would just like to say a big thank you to Miss Sana for coming down in her previous time because she just have a baby boy, or right? Am I right? You got a baby boy?
Little girl, she's amazing.
Little baby girl. So she is a busy mother nowadays, and she is doing a great job in connecting people to Filipino speakers and her website from the store. Thank you so much for being my.
Oh, thank you guys.
It means a lot to me. Thank you so much. So, Miss
Appreciate
Sana,
it.
I'd like to say a little few words, and then we'll
Thank you
just
so
wrap
much.
up this session for today. Any?
No, but thank you for having me on, Saida. Lovely chatting with you as well. And thank you for everyone that has tuned in for this call.
My pleasure. Thank you so
I'm
much.
already on the Know Who market, and I would love to come across as one of your speakers. Inshallah.
There is a will, there is a way, for sure.
Thank you. So God bless
Thank
you
you
all.
so
Have
much.
a
Thank you,
wonderful
Mike.
day. Wonderful day. Thank you once again, Sana. Just a small shout out from you, Ms. Sana, for my channel. If you would like to say to your followers or viewers anything about Maclocks, would you like to say something?
No, I mean, keep at it. Everyone that wants to keep learning, then of course, stay tuned on the Mac blogs and keep learning from as many great resources as possible.
Thank you. Thank you once again. I wish you all the best and take care and see you soon in many more sessions in the future. Take care.
See
Have-
you. Bye
Thank
bye.
you.
So
Bye.
everyone, please do subscribe and share and like my YouTube channel. Thank you so much. Bye bye.